Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. These were the words the public had been waiting to hear. We got him.
We got him.
Have the shooter in custody.
With a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody.
A phrase that in an instant shifted a nation grieving in confusion into a moment of shocked clarity. Because yes, the suspect accused of assassinating conservative commentator Charlie Kirk during his college speaking event at Utah Valley University had finally been caught. This story is as chilling as it is strange, full of bizarre internet inscriptions, surveillance footage, a family torn apart, and a suspect few could have believed capable of such a crime. I'm your host, and this is Unfiled, where we discuss the untold, the unbelievable, the unthinkable. Today, we dive deep into the strange and unsettling case of 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, the man accused of pulling the trigger on what may become one of the most infamous political killings in American history. It happened in Orem, Utah, September 10th, 2025. Thousands had gathered at Utah Valley University, expecting the usual: loud applause, lectures, debates, maybe some outbursts from vocal protesters. After all, Charlie Kirk, whether you loved him or hated him, had a way of drawing a crowd.
Do you believe that being here in America here is a right or a privilege?
What no one expected was a sniper's bullet. At 12:23 p.m., as Kirk stood at the microphone mid-speech, a single round tore through the air and struck him in the neck. Chaos erupted. People screamed, stampeded for exits, security scrambled to shield the stage. Some thought it was fireworks, others thought it was a staged stunt. Then, reality set in.
Just one shot straight into Charlie Kirk.
And I watched a fountain of blood come out of the side of his neck like a water fountain. And it was surreal. Everyone dropped, and I was like, where's the gunman?
Investigators later confirmed the fatal shot had come from the roof of a nearby campus building, nearly 200 yards away. The weapon, a high-powered, scoped, bolt-action rifle. One bullet, one trigger pull, and a nation was left staggering. But where had the shooter gone? That became the immediate question. Within minutes, law enforcement swarmed the scene. Helicopters circled overhead as campus buildings went into lockdown. Students flooded social media with frantic posts. Later that day, newly released surveillance and cell phone recordings showed something haunting. A lone figure in a maroon t-shirt leaping from the rooftop, running through a wooded strip of trees behind the building. He ditched the rifle, wrapped in a towel, but escaped into the streets unnoticed. How?
After the shooting, we were able to track his movements as he moved to the other side of the building, jumped off of the building, and fled off of the campus and into a neighborhood.
The FBI and local law enforcement are still on the ground today, still searching the neighborhood where the assassin was last seen. He ran through here and into these woods.
Authorities say it wasn't a sophisticated plan. The shooter simply ran, then returned to the parking lot, climbed into a gray Dodge Challenger, and drove south, leaving Orem and heading back toward Washington County, nearly 200 miles away. Think about that. Amid national panic, with hundreds of police scanners buzzing, he drove home. The surveillance footage recovered by the scene pointed to one individual, Tyler Robinson. And that's where this case took an even stranger turn. On paper, Robinson wasn't the caricature people expected. He wasn't an ex-militant, cartel member, or foreign agent. He was a 22-year-old Utah native, no criminal record, no known history of violence. A kid described by neighbors as quiet, polite, and even brilliant.
You know what I know about Tyler is he was always very quiet. He was very smart. He had just a real mellow personality, never caused any problems. Like I said, he was smart and he kept to himself, and I don't know who his
High school records show he was a straight-A student. His ACT score was 34 out of 36, top 1% in the country, and had earned a $32,000 scholarship to Utah State University, where he enrolled in an electrical trade program.
Congratulations, you have been selected to receive the Resident Presidential Scholarship from Utah State University. The value of this scholarship is approximately $32,000. This scholarship is available for 4 years or 8 semesters.
His Facebook photos showed a smiling young man on family vacations, fishing trips, hikes through the Grand Canyon, and even a Halloween where he dressed in a satirical Trump costume. So how, people asked, does an honor student grow into the accused political assassin? One former classmate put it like this: he was outspoken about people's rights, not just one side or the other. He thought both parties were messing up the country. A neighbor called him shy but respectful. Another one, a good kid from a good family. But behind closed doors, cracks had started to show. His own family told investigators he had grown more political in recent years, more resentful, more fixated on voices like Charlie Kirk. At a dinner just days before the shooting, Robinson openly mentioned Kirk's coming appearance at UVU and scoffed about it. For his relatives, in hindsight, it was a red flag they missed. And yet, in the end, it was that same family who brought him down. After the FBI released suspect images on September 11th, showing a man in a maroon shirt, Converse sneakers, and a cap, Robinson's family stared at the screen and knew. They confronted him. They brought in a family friend, described by Utah Governor Spencer Cox as a minister. And in that tense confrontation, Robinson allegedly admitted, or at least implied, his role. So what did his family do? They turned him in. Governor Cox later praised them for doing the right thing.
A family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident.
Even President Trump, in an interview, commended the role of a person of faith in Robinson's arrest.
With a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody, right? In custody. Everyone did a great job. We worked with the local police, the governor, everybody did a great job.
But imagine that moment, a family marching their son to the sheriff's office, knowing the eyes of the country were on them, knowing the charges awaiting him included not just murder, but potential execution.
Governor Spencer Cox, in a previous press conference, intimated that he would also be seeking the death penalty.
The investigation revealed something even stranger. The rifle found by police, a Mauser 30-06 bolt action, wasn't just abandoned, it was personalized. On the ammunition, Robinson allegedly engraved bizarre, cryptic inscriptions. One shell casing read, "OO notices bulges, what's this?" A meme pulled from online furry and anime communities. Another reads, "Hey fascist, catch." Another invoked the protest anthem Bella Ciao, a folk song linked to anti-fascist resistance in World War II, now a viral protest song online. And a final round that says, "If you're reading this, you're gay, LMO." To say investigators were stunned would be an understatement. Law enforcement officials quickly realized they weren't just dealing with a politically motivated shooting. These engravings reflected something else, an internet-soaked culture where memes, irony, and trolling intersect with deadly seriousness. Experts explained that even the set of arrows scrawled on a casing matched an input code from the video game Helldivers 2, a command for calling an airstrike. Think about that. Memes as murder notes, jokes etched into deadly ammunition, online irony manifested in a real sniper's bullet. More investigation uncovered Robinson's online trails. Authorities cited Discord messages, chats with friends, even private notes describing his rifle and engravings.
Friends that have confirmed that there was kind of that deep, dark internet, the Reddit culture, and these other dark places of the internet where this person was going deep. I believe that social media has played a direct role in every single assassination and assassination attempt that we have seen over the last 5-6 years. There is no question in my mind that cancer probably isn't a strong enough word. What we have done, especially to our kids, it took us a decade to realize how evil these algorithms are.
Discord itself later disputed that their platform had been directly used for planning, but by then, the link between Robinson's digital and physical world was clear. This wasn't just rage. It was premeditated narrative, crafted through the culture of the internet, then brought to life in reality. On September 11th, 2025 at 10 p.m., barely 33 hours after the fatal shot, Tyler Robinson was taken into custody in Washington County. When agents arrived, he was reportedly wearing clothing that matched earlier campus footage. His Dodge Challenger was seized, along with electronics, a satchel, and personal items. He was booked without bail. The FBI, Utah authorities, and local sheriff's offices described the manhunt and arrest as a model of cooperation. More than 11,000 leads poured in. Interviews ran through the night, and within 2 days, a nation had its suspect.
When it comes to digital tips, this is people uploading video and photos to the FBI's website that might be useful for the investigation. They say they received more or as many, or the last time they received this many digital tips was after the Boston Marathon bombing in 2013.
One childhood acquaintance said she dug up an old yearbook to stare at Robinson's photo, braces and all. I keep thinking, how does that boy, respectful and kind, become the man who made this choice?
He, since I met him growing up, was always a kind, respectable, genuine kid. The kind of student that teachers liked, and all this, I feel like, not just to me, but everyone else, has come really unexpected. He was always just like the type A student, the one that got stuff done on time, the one that always did his homework, admired by like adults and always respected adults and peers and friends, authority figures, and everything like that.
Another neighbor urged compassion. Don't blame his family. Don't spread hate towards them. Send prayers to Charlie Kirk's family. That's what matters.
It's been a really hard week, of course, for the Kirk family, and listening to the speech and knowing the heartbreak of that family. And then the Robinson family, we don't get to hear from, and I think that their heartbreak is more private. And I'm a mom. I have children of my own who make mistakes, and I just can't even imagine the pain that the Robinson family's going through. I wish that I knew them personally. I would reach out to them and let them know that, you know, we're here for them. We're not judging them. We know that our kids make terrible choices sometimes. So I just wanted to add these so that people could offer condolences and offer their prayers to both of the families.
Perhaps the starkest comment came from longtime neighbor Kristen Schweierman. He wasn't taught hate. Social media did that. There's just too much online. It's a sentiment echoed across the community. A normal boy, absorbed by online toxin, becoming something no one saw coming. Robinson now faces many charges, including aggravated murder, felony discharge of a firearm, and obstruction of justice. Governor Cox has confirmed prosecutors may pursue the death penalty.
I am filing a notice of intent to seek the death penalty. I do not take this decision lightly, and it is a decision I have made independently as county attorney, based solely on the available evidence and circumstances and nature of the crime. Because we are seeking the death penalty, The defendant will continue to be held without bail in the Utah County Jail.
President Trump has publicly agreed, stating, "I hope he gets the death penalty. What he did, Charlie Kirk was the finest person."
I hope he's going to be found guilty, I would imagine, and I hope he gets the death penalty. What he did, Charlie Kirk was the finest person. He didn't deserve this.
In Utah, lethal injection remains the default execution method, with firing squad as an option if drugs aren't available. One thing is clear: if convicted, Tyler Robinson could face the harshest possible punishment the law allows. This case is not just about one young man, not even about one victim. This is a snapshot of where America is right now, a place where extremists aren't always recruited in dark corners of ideology. Sometimes they're recruited with jokes, memes, gaming codes, ironic engravings. The internet has blurred the line between humor, hate, and horror. And in Tyler Robinson's case, if the allegations prove true, that blur went too far. Charlie Kirk's assassination is more than a tragedy. It's a warning. A warning about how easily young people can be radicalized, not by one political dogma, but by a swirling stew of online disillusionment, irony, and anger. A warning that what feels like just the internet doesn't always stay online. Sometimes it shows up on a rooftop with a rifle and a scope. And finally, a reminder that behind headline villains and victims are families, churches, neighbors, people blindsided by violence they never imagined touching their homes. This is Unfiled, and this has been the strange, tragic, and unsettling case of Tyler Robinson, the honor student turned assassin. Thank you for watching.
Unfiled.